She held the entire world in the palm of her hand with one song. Judy Garland, the golden voice of a generation, the embodiment of Hollywood fantasy. Yet her magic came at an unimaginable cost. Her career, launched in childhood, became a ruthless, lifelong captivity. At 47, she died alone in a bathroom. But the mystery isn't how she died, but why her life was engineered for tragedy. The truth was a calculated, devastating betrayal. Born Frances Gumm in 1922, she was pushed onto the vaudeville stage by her ambitious mother almost immediately. She was a child star, a prodigy. But beneath the bright lights of the vaudeville circuit, a darkness began to form. Signed by MGM at age 13, studio executives immediately focused on controlling her image. They deemed her too stocky and not pretty enough. This relentless criticism became the seed of a lifetime of insecurity, foreshadowing the control that would ultimately consume her. The tyranny peaked during the filming of The Wizard of Oz in 1939. At 16, she was subjected to a brutal regimen. To keep her weight down and her energy up for 18-hour days, the studio controlled every morsel of food. They began dosing her with pills, Benzedrine for energy during the day and sleeping pills to force her to rest at night. Little did she know, this cocktail of prescribed drugs was laying the foundation for a crippling addiction. She was exhausted. She was constantly hungry. She was utterly dependent. Even as the film made her immortal, the drug dependency became irreversible. As an adult, the pressures only mounted. She battled 5 tumultuous marriages, chronic financial ruin, and a volatile relationship with the studios. Her professional demands and constant pill regimen spiraled into a self-destructive cycle of cancelled shows and emotional breakdowns. By the 1960s, Judy was often frail and unreliable, yet still mesmerizing on stage. She staged legendary comebacks, fueled by sheer will and desperate need. But the addiction was a beast she couldn't outrun. Her private life was chaos, a series of failed attempts to find stability. On June 20, 1969, she was found dead in her London home. The official cause, an accidental overdose of barbiturates. It was a tragic, lonely end. She was still fighting the demons the studio had created decades earlier. The emotional climax was the realization that Hollywood had not only exploited her talent, but had chemically conditioned her for tragedy. The world mourned the loss of a voice that symbolized hope. Over 20,000 people attended her funeral in New York. However, her passing was not just the end of an artist's life. It was a devastating indictment of the factory system that chewed up childhood innocence for box office profit. She left behind 3 children, forever carrying the legacy of her genius and her pain. Judy Garland remains the definitive example of the high price of fame, a star whose light was extinguished by the very industry that created it.